Alright. The Dreamcast is finished. At least I hope so. We have the hard drive mod here, a board that runs underneath. Now all I'm going to do is basically assemble this and cross my fingers that all my soldering is good with this, because if this is not good, I have to cut this back panel off, and it has to clear enough so that I can actually pull the motherboard out. I think that was one of the flaws in this design, as it's not serviceable after you install this hard drive board. So far I haven't been able to test this fully, as the cable that I have for this it's an IE cable, and the problem with it is it's the wrong cable. I need a single, just because I believe it's terminated. I mean, it should work, in my opinion. I did do the pinout. I did make sure that everything ohmed out on every pin. Yeah, I don't know. I do have a cable on order that will allow me to go from 40 pin to the 44 pin laptop hard drive. However, we're waiting on that part. So you can see that I rebuilt this circuit. It's all in the front of the machine instead of along the side here, and I made the wires nice and long so that there's plenty of space for it to move around when I need to. Other than that, everything's working. I tested it out. Now the only thing left to do is, you know, screw everything back together, make it nice and tight. If everything passes, should be good to go. So, with that, I will just assemble this. Sorry there's no music today. I just wanted to get this documented so that everyone can see it. Oops. Of all that, I forget the one thing that's needed. More than one thing, but whatever. The real reason I made these nice and long is so that this thing is still serviceable. That is the key to all these mods, is that it must remain serviceable, because who knows what will happen down the line. Things break. I'm really hoping that hard drive mod works, because that was a real pain waiting for those parts to come. They came from Brazil and they took over a month. The BIOS chip came from France. It's kind of a hodgepodge of collected resources in order to make this thing work. And that ground wire, kind of annoying. But it's all coming together quite nicely, in my opinion. The board that I ordered needed to have some kind of like jumpers installed. The quick solder board, normally all you do is fill a hole with solder and then you just push it onto the pad. Well, in theory it sounded good, but it didn't really work. It needed some modification, just like basically everything. Everything on this project needed slight modifications. That's how she goes, Randy. Hold on there, sponsor. We're almost back together here. I should really modify this back connector here. I think it will real quick. Just needs a little more space. All right. Aha. Wrong screw. Lost its magnetism. There we go, that feels better. Alright. Now, I really didn't need to save this GD-ROM, but I felt the need to keep everything fully intact. I might actually flash this with a no GD-ROM kind of BIOS, and I want to do that for testing purposes only on the. Alright, that one doesn't want to go in. Why? Testing purposes only on the IDE mod that I did. I'm not 100% sure on that one right now. Alright. Looking good. This is just kind of a dance with some wires here. Just to get it into place. So like they're a little longer than I'd hoped they'd be, but it'll only benefit me if I have to take this thing apart again. Would you look at that? see if this thing starts sparking after we fully assemble it. I think it's going to work just fine. This thing hasn't been together in a long time. Got every screw. All right. Got our, that's our reset button, so if this thing actually works, opens up without a problem. Got a little bit of clicking in there from, I'm guessing some wires are right there, but that's not impeding it at all. We got our VGA switch here. I think I'm just gonna leave it just like this and call it a day. Alright. And you can see the hard drive mod. Right on the back there. What? There we go. So I got a cable coming that'll allow the VGA not to be in the way. Let's get this thing one last boot up. And it's basically done. Yeah. That SD card reader is nice and stable in there. Now if it boots into Dream Shell, you know that you're pretty safe to say that you're good to go. Got power. That sound. Oh no. Well, that sucks. Put it all together and we got one of the wires is acting up. Man. Now I'm gonna double check. Make sure that it's not my connector. Yeah, that sucks. Well, everything else is working. Color is just washed out because there's one RGB that's not connected real friendly. That sucks. Which one is it? Man. Always something. It's always something. So close.